this class, we will learn the definition of a straight line. A straight line is a curve. You may confuse here why I am saying straight line is a curve. Actually, straight line is a particular type of curve. We'll discuss that with an example. First, let me complete this definition. Straight line is a curve, the line segment joining any 2 points on the curve. You take any 2 points on the curve and join them. The line segment joining any 2 points on the curve completely lies on it. A straight line is a curve such that the line segment joining any 2 points on the curve completely lies on it. I'll try to explain this with an example. You observe here, I consider two curves. And you take any 2 points on this curve and you join them. You see, this is the line segment joining 2 points on this curve. Is this line segment completely lies on this curve? No. We can easily understand the line segment joining 2 points not on the curve. Okay. Here I'll take one more example. You see here I consider a point here and I'll consider another point here. You join them. You see the line segment joining 2 points on the curve completely lies on it. Yes, not only 2 points, any 2 points. On this curve, you take any 2 points and join them. The line segment joining them completely lies on the curve. That means this curve is not a straight line. This curve is a straight line. What is the definition of straight line? A straight line is a curve such that the line segment joining any 2 points on the curve completely lies on it. So this is straight line. In this class, we will learn about inclination. What is inclination? Inclination is the angle made by a straight line with x-axis in positive direction. What is inclination? Inclination is the angle made by a straight line with x-axis in positive direction. We'll try to understand this with few examples. You observe this diagram. This is the straight line. Where is the angle made by this straight line with x-axis in positive direction? Positive direction means it is anti-clockwise direction. Where is the angle made by this straight line with x-axis in positive direction? You can observe this is the angle made by this straight line with x-axis in positive direction. So this angle is known as inclination. You see here I consider another example. In this example, where is inclination? See, this is the angle made by this straight line with x-axis in positive direction. So this angle is known as inclination. Now we will try to understand about inclination with few more examples. Inclination of x-axis. What is inclination of x-axis? What is the angle made by x-axis with x-axis? You observe here, what is the angle made by x-axis with x-axis? Inclination of x-axis means the angle made by x-axis with x-axis. As both coincides, there is no angle. So we say that inclination of x-axis is 0 degrees. Now, inclination of y-axis. What is inclination of y-axis? See, this is the y-axis. What is the angle made by y-axis with x-axis in positive direction? What is this angle? We know that this angle is 90 degrees. So inclination of y-axis is 90 degrees. Inclination of a line which is parallel to x-axis. You observe here, this is the line which is parallel to x-axis. What is the angle made by this line with x-axis? As these two are parallel, we can say that angle between them is 0 degrees. So what is inclination of a line which is parallel to x-axis? That is 0 degrees. Similarly, inclination of a line which is parallel to y-axis. You observe this line. This is the line parallel to y-axis. What is the angle made by this line with x-axis in positive direction? What is this angle? This angle is 90 degrees. So inclination of a line which is parallel to y-axis is 90 degrees. So in this class we learned about inclination. What is inclination? Inclination is the angle made by a straight line with x-axis in positive direction. What is inclination of x-axis? 0 degrees. What is inclination of y-axis? 90 degrees. What is inclination of a line which is parallel to x-axis? 0 degrees. Inclination of a line which is parallel to y-axis? 90 degrees. In next class, we will learn about slope of a straight line. We learn about inclination of a line. In this class, we will learn about slope of a straight line. To understand slope of a straight line, you must know about inclination. Now, we will learn the definition of slope of a line. If theta is the inclination of a line, you need to know what is inclination. What is inclination? Inclination is the angle made by a straight line with x-axis. You observe here, this is the angle theta. This is the angle made by the straight line with x-axis in positive direction. Positive direction means anti-clockwise direction. So here, if theta is the inclination of a line, then tan theta is called slope of a line. This is the definition of slope of a straight line. If theta is the inclination of a straight line, then tan theta is called slope of that straight line. Slope of a straight line is denoted by m. Generally, throughout this chapter, slope of a straight line is denoted by m. So, what is the conclusion? If theta is the inclination of a straight line, then tan theta is called slope of that line. So, slope of a line is denoted by m. How it is defined? Slope of a line is defined as m equal to tan theta. Here what is theta? Theta is the inclination of a line. Now we will try to understand this more clearly with few examples. See here, find the slope of a line whose inclination is 30 degrees. They give an inclination of a line. When we know inclination of a straight line, we can find slope of a straight line by using this formula m equal to tan theta. It is a good idea to draw the diagram for almost all the problems in this straight lines chapter to get clarity about the concept. Here, this line inclination is 30 degrees. They given like this. They are asking slope of this line. Slope of a line is denoted by m. M equal to, what is actual formula? Actual formula is tan theta. What is theta here? Theta is 30 degrees. Tan 30 degrees. So here, it is important to know trigonometry values. Tan 30 degree value from trigonometry table, we know that it is 1 by root 3. So slope of this straight line is 1 by root 3. You see this another example. Find the slope from the following figure. You need to find slope of this line. Okay. Here, to find the slope of a line, we must know inclination. You may confuse here, inclination is 135 degrees. But that is not the inclination. What is inclination? Inclination is the angle made by a straight line with x-axis in positive direction. This angle is inclination. As we know, this full angle, please observe here, this full angle is 180 degrees. If I take this as theta, what I know? From figure, I know that 135 degrees plus theta equal to 180 degrees. I want inclination theta. What is theta? Theta is 180 degrees minus 135 degrees. 180 degrees minus 135 degrees is 45 degrees. So what you got here? You got inclination. Inclination is what? 45 degrees. When you know inclination of a line, then you can find slope of a line. How you will find slope of a line? We just learned that if theta is the inclination of a line, then slope of that line is tan theta. Here 45 degrees is the inclination, so slope of that line is tan 45 degrees. It is important you must be good in all trigonometry values. From trigonometry table, we know that tan 45 degrees value is 1. So slope of this straight line is 1. Now we will learn few important points related to slope of a straight line. First point is slope of x-axis. To find out slope of x-axis, you must know inclination of x-axis. In last class also we discussed about inclination of x-axis. What is the angle made by x-axis with x-axis? As both will coincide, inclination of x-axis is 0 degrees. So slope of x-axis is what? Slope of x-axis is tan 0 degrees. What is tan 0 degrees value? Tan 0 degrees value is 0. So slope of x-axis is 0. Slope of y-axis. To find slope of y-axis, you must know inclination of y-axis. What is inclination of y-axis? what is the angle made by y-axis with x-axis? Do you know what is this angle? Angle made by y-axis with x-axis? Yes, we know it is 90 degrees. Inclination of y-axis is 90 degrees. What is slope of y-axis? Slope of y-axis tan 90 degrees. Slope of y-axis is tan 90 degrees. From trigonometry table, what is tan 90 degrees value? Tan 90 degrees value is not defined. That means slope of y-axis is not defined. You observe here slope of a line which is parallel to y-axis. You observe here I drawn a line which is parallel to y-axis. To find slope of this line, we must know inclination of this line. What is the angle made by this line with x-axis in positive direction? It is easy to say this is 90 degrees. So slope of a line which is parallel to y-axis. Inclination of this line is 90 degrees. Slope of that line is what? Slope of that line is tan 90 degrees. What is tan 90 degrees? Tan 90 degrees is not defined. So what you understand here? You need to understand that slope of y-axis is not defined. Slope of a line parallel to y-axis is not defined. It tells you that slope of a vertical line is not defined. Slope of a vertical line is not defined. Now, last point. Slope of a line which is parallel to x-axis. You observe this line. This line is parallel to x-axis. To find slope of this line, do you know inclination of this line? In last class we learned about inclination of a line which is parallel to x-axis. Inclination of this line. This line is parallel to x-axis. That means there is no angle made by this line with x-axis. So we say that 0. So slope of a line which is parallel to x-axis is tan 0 degrees because inclination of this line is 0 degrees. There is no angle because these two are parallel. So what is tan 0 degrees? Tan 0 degrees value is 0. In next class, we will learn how to find slope of a straight line when a line is passing through 2 points. In last class, we learned about slope of a straight line. When theta is the inclination of a straight line, then tan theta is called slope of that straight line. That point we learned in last class. In case if a straight line passes through 2 points x1, y1 and x2, y2, then slope of that straight line is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. In this class, we are going to derive this result. First, we will consider a straight line which is having inclination theta and passes through the points x1, y1 and x2, y2. I'll draw a diagram for this to understand this more clearly. You observe here, I considered a straight line whose inclination is theta and passes through 2 points x1, y1 and x2, y2. I considered a straight line whose inclination is theta and passes through the points x1, y1 and x2, y2. Now, I need to prove that slope of this straight line is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. First point, as this straight line inclination is theta, we can write slope of this straight line. From the definition of slope of straight line, if theta is the inclination of a straight line, then slope of a straight line is denoted by m equal to tan theta. This we know from the definition of slope of a straight line. Okay. Now you observe the diagram. As this point is x1, y1, the perpendicular distance from point to y-axis is x1. This length is x1. The perpendicular distance from point to x-axis is y1. As you consider this point as x1, y1, this length is x1, this length is y1. Similarly, as you consider this point as x2, y2, this length is x2 and this length is y2. Okay. Now I'll name this x1, y1 as A, x2, y2 as B. Now you draw AC which is parallel to x-axis. Now you observe this line AC and x-axis. They are parallel. If they are parallel, this straight line acts as a transversal. We know in a transversal, corresponding angles are equal. That means if this angle is theta, then what is this angle? This angle is also theta. Now, in triangle ABC, you observe this triangle ABC. In triangle ABC, I'll try to find what is tan theta. Okay. You observe this triangle ABC. This is right angled at C. So, This one is hypotenuse, AB is hypotenuse, BC is opposite side, AC is adjacent side. Tan theta formula, opposite side by adjacent side. Opposite side is what? Opposite to theta. What is that? That is BC divided by adjacent side. What is adjacent side? That is AC. Now from figure we need to identify what is BC, what is AC. You observe the diagram. From the diagram you try to identify what is BC. You see this length is y1. Please observe here. This length is y1. So this length is also y1. And what is this full length? This full length is y2 because we consider B as x2 y2 now. So this full length is what? This full length is y2. The smaller part is y1. So what is BC? You can easily understand BC is, this full length is y2 now, y2 minus y1. BC is y2 minus y1. That you can observe easily from the diagram. Now I want AC from the diagram. What is AC? You see this length is AC. Actually what is this length? This length is x1. This full length is what? This full length is x2. Here this full length is also x2. As this length is x2, this length is also x2. And this length is x1. As I need AC, AC means I want this part. I want this part AC. What is AC? AC is x2 minus x1 from the diagram. So AC is x2 minus x1. So here what is BC? What is BC? BC is y2 minus y1 divided by AC. What is AC? AC is x2 minus x1. Actually what we got here? From this diagram we got tan theta. What is theta in this diagram? You see here theta is the inclination. Theta is the inclination. You see here slope of straight line is tan theta. So finally I'll conclude here. What we got? We got that as theta is the inclination of given line, slope of a line equal to tan theta, because theta is the inclination. As the line is passes through 2 points x1, y1 and x2, y2, we came to know that tan theta is nothing but y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So slope of a straight line equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. You need to observe 2 points here about slope. First thing, when theta is the inclination of a straight line, then tan theta is the slope of a straight line. Second point, if a straight line passes through 2 points x1, y1 and x2, y2, then the slope of the straight line is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Now we will try to understand these things with 2 smaller examples. Find the slope of a line passing through 2 points 1, 4 and 3, 2. What is the slope of a line formula? The formula is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. You take any point as x1, y1, any point as x2, y2, it's your choice. Generally, we will take first point as x1, y1, second point as x2, y2. Substitute in this formula y2 minus y1, y2, what is y2? 2 minus y1, y1 is 4 divided by x2 minus x1, that is 3 minus x1 is 1. 2 minus 4, 2 minus 4 is minus 2 divided by 3 minus 1 is 2. That equal to minus 1. So what you came to know? You came to know that slope of a straight line passing through 2 points 1, 4 and 3, 2 is minus 1. Till now we learned 2 formulas to find slope of a straight line. Now I'll write another example also. You see here, find the slope of a straight line whose inclination is 60 degrees. Find the slope of a line whose inclination is 60 degrees. Slope of a straight line m equal to, here in this problem we know inclination of a straight line. When we know inclination, then we will write its formula. Slope of a straight line is tan 60 degrees. What is tan 60 degrees value? From trigonometry table, we know that tan 60 degrees value is root 3. So slope of a straight line whose inclination is 60 degrees is root 3. In next class, we will learn the conditions when two lines are parallel, then how their slopes are. When two lines are perpendicular, then how their slopes are. Those things we will discuss in the next class. In previous classes, we learned that if theta is the inclination, then slope of a straight line is tan theta. If a straight line is passing through 2 points x1, y1 and x2, y2, then slope of that straight line is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. In this class, we will learn the proofs of conditions of slopes. You see here, if two lines are parallel, then their slopes are equal. If two lines are parallel, then their slopes are equal. I am going to prove this result now. First, I will consider two parallel lines. Let L1, L2 are two parallel lines whose inclinations are θ1 and θ2 respectively. I'll draw the diagram for this so that you can understand it very easily. You observe here, I considered two parallel lines L1, L2. The inclination of line L1 is θ1. The inclination of line L2 is θ2. Slope of line L1 is tan θ1 because θ1 is the inclination of this line. If θ1 is the inclination of this line, what is slope of this line? Tan θ1. What is slope of line L2? Yes, what is slope of line L2? L2 line inclination is θ2. So slope of line L2 is tan θ2. We know that slope of a line is denoted by m. What I'll do, I'll consider slope of line L1 as m1, slope of line L2 as m2. Now you observe this diagram. If L1, L2 are parallel, then this x-axis acts as a transversal. As the lines L1, L2 are parallel, x-axis acts as a transversal. We know that in a transversal, corresponding angles are equal. You observe θ1, θ2 are the corresponding angles. As x-axis acts as a transversal, corresponding angles are equal. That means θ1 equal to θ2. Okay, I'll apply tan to this on both sides. Apply tan to this on both sides. What you will get? Tan θ1 equal to tan θ2. What is tan θ1? That is slope of first line. Okay. What is tan θ2? That is slope of second line. What happened here? If two lines are parallel, then we got that their slopes are equal. m1 equal to m2. So from now onwards, in this chapter straight lines, whenever two lines are parallel, then we will consider that their slopes are equal. Now we have one more result, that if two lines are perpendicular, then product of their slopes is -1. That result proof also we will discuss now. You see this theorem, if two non-vertical lines are perpendicular, then product of their slopes equal to -1. I will discuss about these non-vertical lines at the end. For time being, you remember like this. If two lines are perpendicular, then product of their slopes equal to -1. I am going to prove this result. First, I will consider two perpendicular lines like this. You observe here in this diagram, there are two lines. They are perpendicular and inclination of first line is θ1, inclination of second line is θ2. I considered two perpendicular lines like this. What is inclination of line L1? That is θ1. Slope of line L1. We know that slope of a line is denoted by m. I'll consider slope of line L1 as m1. As θ1 is the inclination, slope of line L1 is tan θ1. Similarly, slope of line L2. I'll consider slope of line L2 as m2. As θ2 is the inclination of line L2, its slope is tan θ2. You observe here, as these two lines are perpendicular, this angle is 90 degrees. From figure, we can observe a relation here. What is that relation? θ2 is the exterior angle. We know that in a triangle, exterior angle is sum of two interior opposite angles. θ2 is sum of two interior opposite angles. θ2 can be written as 90 degrees plus θ1. Now I'll apply tan to this on both sides. Tan theta 2 equal to tan 90 degrees plus theta 1. Okay, tan theta 2 equal to, as 90 degrees is there, tan changes to cot. These things we learn in trigonometry. Cot theta 1. As 90 degrees is there, tan changes to cot theta 1, and 90 degrees plus theta 1 lies in second quadrant. In second quadrant, tan is negative. All these things proofs also I did in trigonometry chapter. You can check all those videos over there. Tan 90 degrees plus theta 1 is minus cot theta 1. Okay. Tan theta 2 equal to, we know from trigonometry, cot theta can be written as 1 by tan theta. So cot theta 1 can be written as 1 by tan theta 1. Now you take tan theta 1 to this side, then what you will get? You will get that tan theta 1 into tan theta 2 equal to minus 1. What is tan theta 1? Slope of line L1, that means m1 into, what is tan theta 2? Tan theta 2 is slope of line L2, that is m2. m1 into m2 equal to minus 1. What we proved here, if two lines are perpendicular, then product of their slopes equal to minus 1. Here you observe this theorem statement, they mention that two non-vertical lines. You observe this diagram. Here I consider two perpendicular lines. These two lines are perpendicular. I'll take this as line L1. I'll take this line as L2. These two lines are perpendicular. As per the statement we learned, if two non-vertical lines are perpendicular, product of their slopes is minus 1. Here, if any one line is vertical, what is slope of this line? See, what is inclination of this line? What is the angle made by this line with x-axis? That is 90 degrees. When it comes to slope of this line, m2 equal to tan 90 degrees. What is tan 90 degrees? Tan 90 degrees is not defined. That means slope of a vertical line is not defined. This we discussed in earlier class also. So this line is parallel to x-axis. What is inclination of this line? Inclination of this line is 0 degrees. What is slope of this line? Slope of this line is tan 0 degrees. Tan 0 degrees is 0. Here you observe product of slopes m1 into m2. m1 is 0 into m2. m2 is not defined. 0 into not defined is not defined. Don't think that it is 0. 0 into a number which you do not know will be not defined. 0 into infinity is not defined. So here, however, you can easily understand that product of slopes is not minus 1. What the point is, two non-vertical lines are perpendicular, then only product of their slopes is minus 1. If any one of the line is vertical and they are perpendicular, then this result doesn't works. Okay, two non-vertical lines are perpendicular, then only product of their slopes is minus 1. I hope you understand this class. In next class, we will learn the proof of angle between two lines formula. You see this theorem, if theta is the acute angle between two straight lines, then tan theta is modulus of m1 minus m2 divided by 1 plus m1 into m2. We are going to prove this result in this video. First, I'll consider two straight lines L1, L2 like this. You observe here, I consider two straight lines L1, L2 such that whose inclinations are theta 1, theta 2 respectively. You observe this is the line L1 whose inclination is theta 1. This is the line L2 whose inclination is theta 2. As per the definition, if we know the inclination, then we can write its slopes. Slope of line L1 is what? As theta 1 is the inclination of line L1, slope of line L1 is tan theta 1. So slope of line L1 is tan theta 1. I'll consider slope of first line as m1. Similarly, slope of line L2. What is slope of line L2? What is inclination of line L2? Inclination of line L2 is theta 2. So slope of line L2 is tan theta 2. I'll consider slope of second line as m2. Actually, what we are trying here? We are trying for angle between two straight lines. Moreover, here this formula is for acute angle. We'll discuss all those things. First, you observe here, this is the angle between these two lines. You can see here, I considered theta is the angle between the lines L1, L2. I considered theta is the angle between these two lines. Here, angle between two lines means mainly two angles you can observe. This angle is theta. This is vertically opposite angle. This is also theta. And you see this angle. You observe this angle. We know that this angle plus theta is what? 180 degrees. Try to understand. This angle plus theta is 180 degrees. So what is this angle? This angle is 180 degrees minus theta. Please try to understand. What I am trying to say here, if I consider theta is angle between the lines L1, L2, 180 degrees minus theta is also angle between these two lines. See here, this line, you see here, 180 degrees minus theta is also angle between these two lines. From figure, you try to identify the relation between theta, theta1, theta2. You observe theta2 is the exterior angle. We know that exterior angle equal to sum of two opposite interior angles. Theta2 is theta plus theta1. We know this relation. From this, what is theta? What is theta? Theta equal to, you take theta1 to this side. Theta is theta2 minus theta1. I'll apply tan to this on both sides. You observe here, for this relation, I just applied tan on both sides. Tan theta equal to tan of theta2 minus theta1. You see this right hand side part, it is of the form tan a minus b. In trigonometry, we learned this formula. Tan a minus b formula, tan a minus tan b divided by 1 plus tan a tan b. Here a is theta2, b is theta1. So what you got here? You got that tan theta equal to tan theta2 minus tan theta1 divided by 1 plus tan theta2 into tan theta1. What is tan theta2? Look here. Tan theta2 is slope of second line that we considered as m2. So tan theta2 is m2 minus, what is tan theta1? Tan theta1 is m1 divided by 1 plus m2 into m1. m2 into m1 is same as m1 into m2. So we got this tan theta equal to m2 minus m1 divided by 1 plus m1 into m2. I'll consider this as equation 1. Here, what is theta? Theta is angle between the lines L1 and L2. You can observe here 180 degrees minus theta is also angle between these two lines. You observe here, in place of theta, I just written 180 degrees minus theta. Rest of all are as it is. Here what is theta? Theta is angle between two lines. If what we came to know from this equation 1, if theta is angle between the lines, then tan theta equal to m2 minus m1 divided by 1 plus m1 into m2. Here 180 degrees minus theta is also angle between these two lines. I just replaced theta with 180 degrees minus theta. In trigonometry you learn this. When 180 degrees is there, the function tan remains same. This is tan theta. 180 degrees minus theta lies in second quadrant. In second quadrant, tan is negative. So tan 180 degrees minus theta is minus tan theta equal to m2 minus m1 divided by 1 plus m1 into m2. Now multiply with minus on both sides. When we multiply with minus on right hand side, this m2 minus m1 will become m1 minus m2. Try to understand this please. When I multiply with minus on both sides, this left hand side minus of minus plus, this right hand side, when we multiply with minus, m2 minus m1 will become m1 minus m2 divided by 1 plus m1 into m2. You take this as equation 2. You observe here from equation 1, tan theta is m2 minus m1 divided by 1 plus m1 m2. Second equation, tan theta is m1 minus m2 divided by 1 plus m1 m2. You observe this first equation. What I'll do, observe this first equation, tan theta equal to, you take minus common in the numerator, take minus common in the numerator, then what you will get? Minus of m1 minus m2 divided by 1 plus m1 m2. Now I'll consider this as equation 1. What I can write from 1 and 2? From 1 and 2 I can write tan theta like this. Tan theta equal to, here in equation 2 here plus sign is there, in equation 1 here minus sign is there. So what I'll write here, tan theta equal to plus or minus m1 minus m2 divided by 1 plus m1 into m2. Okay, you observe here tan theta positive, tan theta negative. In first quadrant tan theta is positive. In second quadrant means angle range is 90 to 180 degrees. In second quadrant tan theta is negative. That means if theta is acute angle, then answer will be positive here. If theta is obtuse angle, then answer will be negative. I'll conclude here. If theta is acute angle, what answer you should get here? You should get positive answer. So to avoid the unnecessary confusion, what I'll do here, I'll just keep modulus to this part. Tan theta equal to modulus of m1 minus m2 divided by 1 plus m1 into m2. If I keep like this, whether m1 minus m2 positive or negative, whatever it is, as modulus is there, at the end we will get positive answer. If tan theta is positive answer, then whatever theta we will get, that definitely will be acute angle. If you want obtuse angle, you just remove the modulus. If you got the positive answer, that is acute angle. If you got the negative answer, from that we can get obtuse angle. I hope you understand this derivation. In this class, we will learn about collinear points and 4 important note points related to collinear points. First, we will learn the definition of collinear points. 3 or more points are said to be collinear. 3 or more points are said to be collinear if they lie on a same line. I'll try to explain this with a diagram. You observe this diagram, the points A, B, C lie on a same line. If these 3 points lies on the same line, then what we can say? We can say that the points A, B, C are collinear. What is the definition of collinear points? 3 or more points are said to be collinear if they lie on a same line. Okay. Now we will try to understand important points related to collinear points. First one, if 3 points are collinear, by using these 3 points you draw the triangle. You observe here the points A, B, C are collinear. Can you form a triangle with these 3 collinear points? When 3 points are collinear, then we cannot form a triangle by using those 3 points. So what is the first point? If 3 points ABC are collinear, then area of triangle ABC is 0. If you want to prove 3 points are collinear, you prove that area of triangle formed by those 3 points is 0. If the area of triangle formed by 3 points is 0, then we can say that those 3 points are collinear. Now, second point. You observe this diagram, this line is having inclination theta. Suppose this is the inclination. Where is line AB in this? To name a line, any 2 points on the line is enough. Where is line AB? This green color one. This is the line AB. Where is line BC? The same one. To represent a line, to name a line, any 2 points on the line is enough. This is line AB. This is line BC. This is line AC. So, if 3 points are collinear, then slope of AB is same as slope of BC is same as slope of AC. So, second point is, so this is the second point. Slope of line AB is same as slope of line BC, which is same as slope of line AC. If you want to prove 3 points are collinear, if you can prove that slope of AB is same as slope of BC, slope of BC is same as slope of AC. If these 3 slopes are equal, then we can say that the given 3 points are collinear. You observe, if 3 points are collinear, we do not know order of the points. You see here, A, B, C are collinear. You can see here also the points ABC are collinear because the points ABC lies on the same line. You can see here also the points ABC are collinear. Only the thing is their order is different. You see here, when the points ABC are collinear, then you observe AB plus BC. AB plus BC is what? AB plus BC is AC. If 3 points ABC are collinear, AB plus BC equal to AC. That means sum of two distances here, AB and BC, is AC. You observe, if the order is like this, BCA, then BC plus CA. Look here, BC plus CA is what? BC plus CA is BA. If the points order is CAB, then CA plus AB. CA plus AB equal to CB. So, if to prove 3 points ABC are collinear, if you prove any one of these three, then we can say that the points are collinear. What to do? Just simply calculate AB, BC, CA. You check that sum of any two equal to third one. If sum of any two equal to third one, then we can say that given points are collinear. Okay. Next, fourth one. To prove 3 points ABC are collinear. First we will find equation of line AB. Or line BC or line AC. You take any 2 points from ABC and you find that line equation. Here, if you find the equation of line AB, then remaining point is C. You substitute the point C in line equation AB. If it satisfies, then we can say that given points are collinear. What is the fourth point? To prove 3 points ABC are collinear, you take any 2 points and find that line equation. You find line AB or line BC or line CA. If you find line AB, then remaining point is C. Substitute that C point in that line equation AB. If it satisfies, that means if you are getting 0 equal to 0, then we can say that the point C also on the line AB. So that we can say that given 3 points lies on a same line. Therefore, the points A, B, C are collinear. I hope you understand collinear points definition, and to prove 4 points are collinear, we will use these 4 points. This is first problem in exercise number 10.1, straight lines chapter of class 11. You see this question, draw a quadrilateral in a Cartesian plane. What I'll do, first I'll plot these points on the coordinate axis and I'll join all those points to form a quadrilateral. You see first point is minus 4, 5. Minus 4, 5 lies in second quadrant. You see here minus 4, 5. This is the point minus 4, 5. Okay. Second point 0, 7. 0, 7 lies on y-axis because its x-coordinate is 0. This is the point 0, 7. Okay. Third point 5, minus 5. X is positive, y is negative in fourth quadrant. 5, minus 5. This is the point 5, minus 5. This is the point 5, minus 5. Okay. Next point minus 4, minus 2. It lies in third quadrant. This is the point minus 4, minus 2. Now I'll join all these points to form a quadrilateral. Now name the vertices. I'll name this vertex as A, this vertex as B, this vertex as C, and this vertex as D. What they are asking in the question, find its area. To find area of quadrilateral, what I'll do, I'll draw one diagonal for this. You observe here, I'll draw a diagonal like this. Now, it divides this quadrilateral into two triangles. One is triangle ADC, another one is triangle ACB. I know area of triangle formula. By using area of triangle formula, I'll calculate area of triangle ADC and I'll calculate area of triangle ACB. Finally, I'll add them. Okay. First, you consider given vertices as A, B, C, D. Now, first I'll calculate area of triangle ADC. Okay. To calculate area of triangle when we know three vertices, this is the formula. Half into x1 into y2 minus y3 plus x2 into y3 minus y1 plus x3 into y1 minus y2. What I'll do now, I'll consider A as x1 y1, D as x2 y2, C as x3 y3. What I'll do now, these values I'll substitute in this formula. Half into, I just substituted these values in this formula. Now we will see. If I simplify this, what I'll get? Minus 4 into minus 2 minus of minus plus 5. Minus 2 plus 5 is 3. Plus of minus minus. Minus 4 into minus 5 is minus 10. Plus 5 into minus of minus plus 5 plus 2 is 7. If you simplify this further, what you will get? 1 by 2 into minus 12 minus of minus plus 40 plus 5 sevens are 35. Okay, that equal to half into minus 12 plus 40 is 28. 28 plus 35 is 63. So area of triangle ADC is 63 divided by 2 square units. So I calculated area of triangle ADC. Here you need to consider one point. When you consider the vertices in clockwise direction, you will get area of triangle is negative answer. However, area is always positive. Even though if you got the negative answer, we will keep modulus at the end to get the positive answer. To avoid all those things, while calculating area of triangle, you consider this anti-clockwise direction. Consider the vertices in anti-clockwise direction. Then area of triangle will be positive. Now area of triangle ADC is over. Now I'll calculate area of triangle ACB. Area of triangle ACB. I'll consider A as x1 y1, C as x2 y2, B as x3 y3. I'll substitute these values in area of triangle formula. Half into, what is x1? x1 is minus 4 into y2 minus y3. y2 is what? Minus 5 minus y3 is 7 plus x2. x2 is what? 5 into y3 is what? y3 is 7 minus y1 is 5 plus x3. What is x3? x3 is 0 into y1 is 5 minus y2 is minus 5 minus of minus plus 5. Okay, that equal to 1 by 2 into minus 4 into minus 5 minus 7 is minus 12 plus 5 into 7 minus 5 is 2 plus 0 into 10 is 0. That equal to 1 by 2 into minus 4 into minus 12 is 48 plus 5 2s are 10. That equal to 58 divided by 2. 58 by 2 square units. So final conclusion, area of triangle ABCD we need to calculate. Area of triangle ABCD is nothing but area of triangle ADC plus area of triangle ACB. Area of triangle ADC, what we got? Area of triangle ADC, we got it as 63 divided by 2 plus area of triangle ACB, we got it as 58 divided by 2. So LCM is what? LCM is 2. 63 plus 58. 63 plus 58 is 121. So finally, area of quadrilateral ABCD is 121 divided by 2 square units. This is second problem in straight lines chapter. You see this question. The base of equilateral triangle with side 2A lies along y-axis such that the midpoint of the base is at origin. Find the vertices of a triangle. First, I'll write the given information. What they given? Given that the triangle is equilateral triangle. Given triangle is equilateral triangle. And further what they are saying, the base of equilateral triangle lies along y-axis. Base of equilateral triangle with side 2A lies along y-axis such that the midpoint of the base is origin. Now you see, I'll mark the base on this y-axis. You observe here, I considered base with side 2A. I'll take this length A and I'll take this length also A. The base of equilateral triangle of side 2A. This length is 2A, lies along y-axis such that midpoint of the base is origin. They given midpoint of the base is origin. Find the vertices of the triangle. Okay, here I'll name these vertices like this. This as vertex A, this as vertex B. Do you know what is vertex A? What is vertex A? Vertex A is on positive y-axis, and we know OA is A because they are saying that this side is 2A. OA is A. Then the vertex A is A, 0. What do you know about vertex B? As it is on y-axis and moreover it is on negative y-axis, point B is 0, minus A. Okay. Now you need to find the third vertex of equilateral triangle. Third vertex C. What are the possible chances of third vertex C such that ABC is an equilateral triangle? This is important. What are the chances of third vertex C such that ABC is an equilateral triangle? You observe this. The vertex C must lies on x-axis such that the triangle ABC is an equilateral triangle. It is not like that we will get here or C we will get here. As base of equilateral triangle along y-axis and the midpoint of base is origin, the third vertex of the triangle must be on x-axis. So this is one possible chance of vertex C. Another possible chance is also there, that is like this. You see here, there is a chance that we will get another vertex on the negative x-axis also such that ABC dash is a equilateral triangle. However, first I will find this C. Okay. So what they given that triangle is equilateral triangle. As we consider the vertices as ABC and they given that the triangle is equilateral triangle with side 2A. That means AB is same as BC, BC is same as CA because it is an equilateral triangle. They given one side is 2A. That means all sides will be 2A. You see here what is AC? If ABC is an equilateral triangle, AB is of length 2A. AC is also of length 2A, and they are asking the vertices of a triangle. The vertex A, what is the vertex A? Vertex A is A, 0 here. What is the vertex B? Vertex B is 0, minus A. Okay. Now you observe the diagram. Where is triangle OAC? You observe the triangle OAC. What do you know about triangle OAC? Triangle OAC is a right angle triangle. Triangle OAC is a right angle triangle. I can apply Pythagoras theorem to this. Hypotenuse square equal to sum of squares of other two sides. That means OC square plus OA square. Okay. If I know the length of OC, then I can find out the vertex C. If I know the length OC, then I can write the vertex C. So in this I am trying to find OC. What is AC? AC is 2A. So AC square, that is 2A square equal to OC length I do not know. I want to find this plus A square. OA square means A square. 2A whole square. 2A whole square means 2 square is 4. 4A square equal to OC square plus A square. Now take A square to this side. 4A square minus A square equal to OC square. 4A square minus A square is what? 3A square equal to OC square. From this we can write what is OC. What is OC? OC is root over 3A square. This is same as root 3 into root A square is A. So what is OC? OC is root 3A. You see, we got this length OC. OC is root 3A. From this you can write the vertex C. What is vertex C? As C lies on x-axis, its y-coordinate is 0. And you know x-coordinate. OC is root 3A. So the vertex C is root 3A, 0. A is A, 0. B is 0, minus A. C is root 3A, 0. These three vertices forms a equilateral triangle. Another set is A is A, 0. B is 0, minus A. C dash. See, as it is a equilateral triangle, OC dash. Here you need to observe one thing. OC square is root 3a square. Na? OC is plus or minus root 3a square. What is OC? Plus or minus root 3 into a. Here what is C dash? C dash is minus root 3a comma 0. So you will get two set of answers for this problem. These three vertices forms a equilateral triangle. These three vertices also forms a equilateral triangle whose base is along the y-axis with side 2a and midpoint of the base is origin. I hope you understand solution for this problem. This is third problem in exercise number 10.1 straight lines chapter of class 11. You see this question. Find the distance between the points P is given as x1, y1 and Q is given as x2, y2. They are asking to find the distance between the points P and Q when PQ is parallel to x-axis, PQ is parallel to y-axis. Okay. First, we'll do this first bit. When PQ is parallel to x-axis, we will calculate distance between the points P and Q. You observe this diagram. In this diagram, PQ is parallel to x-axis. You can observe that PQ is parallel to x-axis. As P is x1, y1, you observe this length is x1 and this length is y1. The perpendicular distance from point P to x-axis is y1. Why this length is y1? Because we considered P as x1, y1. Q is given as x2, y2. That means the perpendicular distance from point Q to y-axis is x2. The perpendicular distance from point Q to x-axis is y2. What is this length? This length is y2 because they given point Q as x2, y2. So what you identified here, when PQ is parallel to x-axis, you observe the length of y1 is same as length of y2. This is the point you need to understand. If PQ is parallel to x-axis, then what we came to know that? We came to know that y1 is same as y2. Now, what are the coordinates of point P? Actually, point P is given as x1, y1. Okay. And what is point Q? Point Q is x2, y2. Q is given as x2, y2. As we know that y1, y2 both are same, in place of y2, I can write y1 because y1 is same as y2. Now, I will calculate PQ. We know distance formula, root over x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. When I apply distance formula, x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1. In place of y2, here we written y1. So y2 is same as y1. y1 minus y1 whole square. That equal to root over x2 minus x1 whole square plus y1 minus y1 is 0. 0 square is 0 only. So PQ is root over x2 minus x1 whole square. Here the square root and 2 will get cancelled and you will get PQ as, what is PQ? PQ as x2 minus x1. Here you may get small confusion. PQ is the distance. Distance is always positive. Based on x1, x2 values, there is a chance you will get negative answer here. But PQ is always positive. So to avoid that confusion, I just keep modulus here. Moreover, whatever the outcome is there from square root, that is always positive. So what is PQ? PQ is modulus of x2 minus x1. So we completed the first bit. When PQ is parallel to x-axis, then distance between the point PQ is modulus of x2 minus x1. Similarly, I'll try the second bit. First, I'll draw the diagram. PQ is parallel to y-axis. You observe this second bit. I drawn PQ such that PQ is parallel to y-axis. As they given P as x1, y1, this length is what? This length is x1. The perpendicular distance from point to y-axis is x1. This full length perpendicular distance from point P to x-axis is y1. That is not important here. As the given q is x2 comma y2, the perpendicular distance from point to y-axis is x2. And this length, what is this length? Perpendicular distance from point q to x-axis is y2. If PQ is parallel to y-axis, you can observe one thing. This length is same as this length. So if PQ is parallel to y-axis, then x1 is same as x2. PQ is parallel to y-axis, then x1 equal to x2. What are the points given? P is given as x1 comma y1. Q is given as x2 comma y2. But we know that x2 is same as x1. So I'll write in place of x2, I'll write x1 comma. Q is actually x2 comma y2. As x2 is same as x1, in place of x2 I written x1. Now I'll calculate distance between these 2 points. What is the formula? Square root of x2 minus x1. Actually x2 is same as x1 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. Okay. So PQ equal to x1 minus x1 is 0. 0 square is 0 only. So what you will get? Square root of y2 minus y1 whole square. Here square root 2 will get cancelled. What you will get? PQ. PQ is y2 minus y1. If I leave this here, you may confuse. There is a chance you will get based on y1, y2 values, you may get y2 minus y1 as negative answer. To avoid that confusion, you just keep the modulus here. Modulus means even though if you got negative answer, as modulus is there, it will be positive. So when PQ is parallel to x-axis, the distance between the points PQ is modulus of x2 minus x1. If PQ is parallel to y-axis, then the distance between the points P and Q is modulus of y2 minus y1. I hope you understand this. You observe this question. Find a point on x-axis. Find a point on x-axis which is equidistant from the points 7, 6 and 3, 4. You need to find a point on x-axis which is equidistant from the points 7, 6 and 3, 4. To understand this question more clearly, first I'll draw a rough diagram related to this question. You observe here I plotted the points 3, 4 and 7, 6. I named this 3, 4 as A. I am considering the point A as 3, 4 and the point B as 7, 6. Okay. Now you need to find a point on x-axis which is equidistant from these 2 points. That will be somewhere around here. Just guessing. This will be somewhere around here. This is the point on x-axis which is equidistant from these 2 points. It means that this distance is same as this distance. So we need to find the point on x-axis. I'll name it as P. We know that on x-axis y coordinate is 0. So I'll consider this point as x, 0. I considered P as x, 0. Now we need to calculate the value of x. For that, what they given? They given that P is equidistant from A and B. That means PA is same as PB. They given that P is equidistant from A and B. That means they given that PA is same as PB. Okay, PA means distance formula. We know the distance formula. You know the point P and you know the point A. What is the distance formula? You take this as x1, y1 and you take this point as x2, y2. Distance formula x2 minus x1 whole square. x2 is x minus 3 whole square plus y2 minus y1, that is 0 minus 4 whole square equal to PB. B as x1, y1, you take P as x2, y2. PB formula, distance formula is what? x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. X minus 7 whole square plus 0 minus 6 whole square. Okay, now to get the value of x, you square on both sides. squaring on both sides. When we square on both sides, the square root will get cancelled. What you will get here? You will get that x minus 3 whole square plus 0 minus 4 is minus 4. Minus 4 whole square is 16 equal to, here square root will get cancelled. What you will get? X minus 7 whole square plus minus 6 whole square is 36. You expand this further, what you will get? X square plus 9 minus 6x plus 16 equal to x square plus 49 minus 14x. You just expand this plus 36. You see this x square will get cancelled. Now what I'll do, all x terms I'll write at one side, remaining all I'll write other side. You take minus 14x to the left hand side. It will become plus 14x. 14x minus 6x equal to, you observe here 49 plus 36. 49 plus 36 is 85. 85. See here, 9 plus 16 is 25. Take that 25 to the right hand side, minus 25. 14x minus 6x is 8x. 8x equal to 85 minus 25, that is 60. So from this, what is x? X equal to 60 divided by 8. Now this 4 table 15 times, 4 table 2 times. So finally what you got? You got x equal to 15 divided by 2. We are trying to find the value of x. We got the value of x. So therefore, final point, P. Actually P is x comma 0. What is the value of x you got? You got the value of x as 15 divided by 2 comma 0. So the point 15 divided by 2 comma 0 is equidistant from the points A and B. I hope you understand this class. You observe this question. Find the slope of a line. You need to find slope of a line which passes through origin and the midpoint of the line segment joining the points P and B. Okay, to understand the question, here I drawn the diagram. What they are asking, find the slope of a line which passes through origin. You look here, this is the origin which passes through origin and midpoint of the line segment joining P and B. Suppose this is the midpoint of line segment joining P and B. You know origin is 0, 0. Now first I'll calculate midpoint of PB. They given P is 0, minus 4, B is 8, 0. Midpoint of PB, midpoint formula is x1 plus x2 by 2, y1 plus y2 by 2. x1 plus x2, x1 is 0, x2 is 8. 0 plus 8 divided by 2, y1 plus y2 minus 4 plus 0 divided by 2. 8 by 2 is 4, minus 4 divided by 2 is minus 2. So midpoint of PB is 4, minus 2. So I got this point as 4, minus 2. Which line slope you need to calculate here? This green color line slope you need to calculate. Slope of a line passing through origin and midpoint of line joining these 2 points. Slope of a line passing through origin and 4, minus 2. The formula is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. You take first point as x1 y1, second point as x2 y2. Substitute y2 minus y1 minus 2 minus y1 is 0 divided by x2 minus x1, that is 4 minus 0. What you will get here? This is minus 2 divided by 4. So what you will get here finally? This is minus 1 by 2. So they are asking to find the slope of a line. So we got that slope of a line passing through origin and midpoint of the line segment joining the points P and B. What is that slope? That slope is minus 1 by 2. You observe this question. Without using Pythagoras theorem, you need to show that given vertices are the vertices of a right angle triangle. Generally, to prove given vertices forms a right angle triangle, we use Pythagoras theorem. But here they are saying without using Pythagoras theorem. By using the concept of slope, we can prove that these are the vertices of a right angle triangle. First, I taken given vertices as A, B, C. Now, I'll calculate slope of line AB. Slope of a line passing through the points A and B. If a straight line passes through 2 points x1, y1 and x2, y2, then to calculate slope of that line formula is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. This is the formula to calculate slope of a straight line passing through 2 points x1, y1 and x2, y2. Here I'll consider A as x1, y1, B as x2, y2. Okay, slope of a line AB formula. Formula is y2 minus y1, that is 5 minus 4 divided by x2 minus x1, that is 3 minus 4, x2 minus x1. 5 minus 4 is 1 divided by 3 minus 4 is minus 1. 1 divided by minus 1 is minus 1. Slope of line AB is minus 1. Now I'll calculate slope of line BC. To calculate slope of line BC, you take B as x1, y1, C as x2, y2. What is the slope of a line passing through 2 points? y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Here y2 is minus 1 minus 5. y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1 minus 1 minus 3. Minus 1 minus 5 is minus 6 divided by minus 1 minus 3 is minus 4. Here minus minus will get cancelled. 2 table 3 times, 2 table 2 times. So slope of line BC is 3 by 2. Now I'll calculate slope of line AC also. To calculate slope of line AC, I'll take A as x1, y1, C as x2, y2. What is the formula to calculate slope of a line passing through 2 points? y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. y2 is minus 1 minus y1 is 4. y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1 minus 4 minus x1. x1 is 4. Okay. Here minus 1 minus 4 is minus 5 divided by minus 1 minus 4 is minus 5. Minus 5 divided by minus 5 is 1. After calculating slope of line AB, slope of line BC, slope of line AC, that means I calculated slope of all 3 sides of a triangle. You observe the product of slopes of line AB and line AC. Now you consider the product of slope of line AB and slope of line AC. What is slope of line AB? It is minus 1 into what is slope of line AC? That is 1. Product of their slopes is minus 1. It tells you that the lines AB and AC are perpendicular. You observe if the lines AB, AC are perpendicular, what about this triangle ABC? I consider given vertices as ABC now. As we came to know that AB and AC are perpendicular, what we can say? Given vertices forms a right angle triangle or not? Yes. Therefore, what you will conclude? Therefore, given vertices forms a right angled triangle. You observe this question. Find the slope of a line. We need to find slope of a line which makes an angle 30 degrees with the positive direction of y-axis. You may confuse here because it is not positive direction of x-axis, it is positive direction of y-axis. You observe this diagram, I considered a line. Where is the angle made by this line with y-axis in positive direction? This is the angle made by this line with y-axis in positive direction. This angle is 30 degrees. If this is 30 degrees, you know that these two are vertically opposite angles. If this is 30 degrees, then this is also 30 degrees, correct? And we know that angle between x-axis and y-axis is 90 degrees, okay? And you observe this triangle. We know that in a triangle, sum of all angles is 180 degrees. If this is 30 degrees, this is 90 degrees. What will be this angle? Sum of all angles must be 180 degrees. Now, this angle must be 60 degrees. Now you see 60 plus 30 is 90. 90 plus 90 is 180. You consider theta is the inclination of the line. And you observe here 60 degrees plus theta is what? 60 degrees plus theta. This full angle is what? This full angle is 180 degrees. From this, we can calculate theta. Theta is 180 degrees minus 60 degrees. So what is theta? Theta is 120 degrees. So inclination of this line is 120 degrees. When you know inclination of a line, can you find slope of that line? We know the formula. If theta is the inclination of a line, then the slope of that line is tan theta. Slope of required line. What is slope of required line? Slope of required line is tan 120 degrees. Okay. 120 degrees, we can write it as 90 degrees plus 30 degrees. Yes, correct. So here in trigonometry we learn this. When 90 degrees is there, tan changes to cot. This is cot 30 degrees. As 90 plus theta is in second quadrant tan is negative. So tan 90 degrees plus 30 degrees is minus cot 30 degrees. All these things we learn in trigonometry. That equal to minus cot 30 degrees value. From trigonometry table, we know that cot 30 degrees value is root 3. Therefore, slope of this line m equal to minus root 3. I hope you understand this class. You observe this question. Find the value of x for which the given 3 points are collinear. They are saying that the points are collinear. You need to find the value of x. To understand this more clearly, I drawn a diagram. When we say the points are collinear, when the points lies on a same line, then we say that the points are collinear. Here you see 3 points are collinear they given. So I taken all 3 points on the same line. First I'll name given points. I'll take A as x comma minus 1. I am taking like this. And B is 2 comma 1. We are considering B as 2 comma 1. C is 4 comma 5. You see this point. As the points are collinear, we know that slope of AB is same as slope of BC, which is same as slope of AC. Because as all the points on the same line, slope of inclination will be same for line AB, line BC, line AC. That's why slope of line AB is same as slope of line BC is same as slope of line AC. You observe here, I considered these two things. Okay, now I'll calculate slope of line AB. Slope of a line passing through 2 points. If a line passing through 2 points, to find the slope of that line, what is the formula? y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. To calculate slope of line AB, I'll take A as x1 y1, B as x2 y2. Okay, slope of line AB formula, y2 minus y1, y2 minus y1, y1 is minus 1, divided by x2 minus x1, 2 minus x1 is x. Okay, equal to slope of line BC. To calculate slope of line BC, I'll take B as x1 y1, C as x2 y2. What is slope of BC? y2 minus y1, that is 5 minus 1 divided by x2 minus x1, that is 4 minus 2. Now I'll simplify this. Minus of minus plus. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 divided by 2 minus x equal to 5 minus 1 is 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. Here 4 divided by 2 is 2. Okay. Now this 2 also will get cancelled. If you cross multiply, what is remaining? The remaining one is 1 equal to 2 minus x. You take this x to the left hand side and this 1 to the right hand side. 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. So finally what you got? You got the value of x. What is the value of x? The value of x is 1. In the question also, what they are asking, find the value of x. So this problem solution is completed. I hope you understand this class. This is question number 9 in Straight Lines chapter exercise 10.1. The question is like this. Without using distance formula, show that the points are the vertices of a parallelogram. They given 4 vertices. We need to show that these 4 vertices forms a parallelogram without using distance formula. First, I named the given vertices. First vertex as A, second vertex as B, third vertex as C, fourth vertex as D. So, how I'll prove these vertices forms a parallelogram? You observe here the parallel sides AB and DC are parallel. What I'll do, I'll calculate slope of AC, slope of DC. Slope of AB, you treat A as x1, y1, B as x2, y2. What is slope of AB formula? y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. y2 minus y1. y1 is minus 1. y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. x2 4 minus x1 is minus 2. That equal to 1 divided by 4 plus 2 is 6. So, slope of AB is 1 by 6. Similarly, I'll calculate slope of DC. Slope of DC, you take D as x1, y1, C as x2, y2. What is the formula of slope? y2 minus y1. 3 minus 2. y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. x2 is 3 minus x1 is minus 3. 3 minus 2 is 1 divided by minus of minus plus 3 plus 3 is 6. You can observe here slope of AB 1 by 6, slope of DC is 1 by 6. We know that then the lines are parallel. So this tells you that the lines AB, DC are parallel. Okay. So here I calculated slope of AB, slope of DC. I came to know that they are parallel. Now I'll calculate slope of BC, slope of AD. Slope of BC. You take B as x1, y1, C as x2, y2. Slope of BC formula y2 minus y1. y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. x2 is 3 minus x1 is 4. That equal to 3 minus 0, 3 divided by 3 minus 4 minus 1. That equal to minus 3. Now I'll calculate slope of AD. Slope of AD. You take A as x1, y1, D as x2, y2. Slope formula y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. x2 is minus 3 minus x1 as minus 2. Minus 3 minus of minus plus. This is minus 3 plus 2. Minus 3 plus 2 is minus 1. 3 divided by minus 1 is minus 3. So what you came to know here? Slope of BC is same as slope of AD. It tells you that the lines BC and AD are parallel. Therefore, what is the conclusion? AB, CD are parallel, BC, AD are parallel. Therefore, we can conclude that given points forms a parallelogram. I hope you understand this. Now, we will see the solution for question number 10. You observe this question number 10. Find the angle between x-axis and line joining the points 3, minus 1 and 4, minus 2. You can observe both the points lies in fourth quadrant. X coordinate is positive, y coordinate is negative. So I drawn a line passing through these 2 points. Where is the angle between x-axis and line joining these 2 points? See, this is the angle between x-axis and the line joining the points. Or else we can consider this angle also. However, I am going to calculate both the angles. Right. For that, first you take given points as A, B. Let A equal to 3, minus 1 and B equal to 4, minus 2. I considered this point as A and this point as B. What I'll do now, I'll calculate slope of AB. We know slope formula. What is slope formula? y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Here you take A as x1, y1, B as x2, y2. What is slope formula? y2 minus y1 minus 2 minus what is y1? y1 is minus 1 divided by x2 minus x1, that is 4 minus 3. That equal to, you see here, minus of minus plus. Minus 2 plus 1 is minus 1 divided by 4 minus 3 is 1. That equal to minus 1. So slope of AB is minus 1. We know that generally slope is denoted by m. We got that slope is minus 1. If I consider this as theta, if theta is the inclination of a line, tan theta is also known as slope of the line. Tan theta is also known as slope of the line. That means here we got slope is minus 1. It tells you that we know that if theta is the inclination, tan theta is also slope of the line. Tan theta is minus 1. In trigonometry, we learn these things. Tan 135 degrees value. How you will calculate tan 135 degrees value? 135 degrees can be written as 90 degrees plus 45 degrees. As 90 degrees is there, tan changes to cot 45 degrees. Correct? 90 degrees plus theta is in second quadrant. In second quadrant, tan is negative. Tan 135 degrees is minus cot 45 degrees. That equal to minus cot 45 degrees value 1. So what is the conclusion? Tan 135 degrees value is minus 1. So here what you came to know, when tan theta is minus 1, what is theta? Theta is 135 degrees. You observe the diagram. Where is theta? Here is theta. That means we got this angle. What is this angle? This angle is 135 degrees. So I can say that the angle between the line and x-axis is 135 degrees. However, this is also angle between this line and x-axis. You know this full angle. You observe this full line angle is 180 degrees. If you want to calculate this angle is 180 degrees minus 135 degrees. 180 degrees minus 135 degrees is 45 degrees. So we can say that angle between the x-axis and the line joining these points is 135 degrees or 45 degrees. I hope you understand this class. This is question number 11 in straight lines chapter. What they are asking in this question? The slope of a line is double the slope of another line. They are saying that slope of one line is double the slope of another line. Further, what they given? If tangent angle between them is 1 by 3. If tangent angle, that means tan theta is 1 by 3, find the slopes of the lines. So how to solve this problem? First, I'll consider the line's slopes like this. Let m comma 2m are the slopes of the given lines. Why I considered m comma 2m? Because they are saying that slope of a line is double the slope of another line. You see here, I consider one line slope is m, another line slope I considered as 2m. And further what I'll do, as I consider two lines with their slopes, I'll take theta is the angle between them. I considered slopes of the given lines are m comma 2m and I taken theta is the angle between the given lines. In the question, they given that tangent angle between the lines is 1 by 3. They given tan theta equal to 1 by 3. We know tan theta formula. What is tan theta formula? Tan theta formula is modulus of m1 minus m2 divided by 1 plus m1 into m2. What is m1? m1 is slope of the first line. What is m2? m2 is slope of second line. Here m1 is m, m2 is 2m. In place of m1, I'll write m. In place of m2, I'll write 2m like this. You observe here, in place of m1, I written m. In place of m2, I written 2m. Now I'll simplify this. Modulus of m minus 2m. m minus 2m is minus m divided by 1 plus 2 into m is m square equal to 1 by 3. You observe this expression. What I got here? Modulus of minus m divided by 1 plus 2m square equal to 1 by 3. You know this. Modulus of x equal to 3 means what are the possible chances of x? X may be plus 3 or minus 3. Modulus of 3 is 3. Modulus of minus 3 also 3. So if you want to remove modulus here, you can consider like this: m divided by 1 plus 2m square can be written as plus or minus 1 by 3. Here now I'll take plus 1 by 3 once and minus 1 by 3 once like this. Minus m divided by 1 plus 2m square equal to plus 1 by 3, or there is a chance that minus m divided by 1 plus 2m square equal to minus 1 by 3. Okay, now you simplify this and find the value of m. Cross multiply, what you will get? Minus 3m equal to 1 plus 2m square. You take minus 3m to other side, then you will get like this: 2m square plus 3m plus 1 equal to 0. Split the middle term. This 3m can be written as 2m plus m plus 1 equal to 0. Here from first two terms you take 2m common, then what you will get? You will get m plus 1 plus 1 into m plus 1 equal to 0. Here m plus 1 is there, here also m plus 1 is there. You can take m plus 1 common. If you take m plus 1 common, then what you will get? 2m plus 1 equal to 0. Product of two terms is 0, means either m plus 1 equal to 0 or 2m plus 1 equal to 0. If m plus 1 equal to 0, what m is? M is minus 1. Or 2m plus 1 equal to 0. What is 2m? 2m equal to minus 1. M equal to minus 1 by 2. Here I got 2m values. Respect to 2m values I'll calculate. First let me simplify this part also. Here if I simplify this part, you can see minus minus will get cancelled. Here I can cancel this minus. Cross multiply, what you will get? You will get 3m equal to 1 plus 2m square. You take 3m to the right hand side, then what you will get? You will get 2m square minus 3m plus 1 equal to 0. Now split the middle term. 2m square minus 3m can be written as minus 2m minus m plus 1 equal to 0. From first two terms you take 2m common, then what you will get? M minus 1. Here if I take minus common, it can be written as m minus 1 equal to 0. So what here m minus 1 is there, here also m minus 1 is there. So you take m minus 1 common. What things are remaining? 2m minus 1 equal to 0. Here product of two terms is 0, means either this equal to 0 or this term equal to 0. So what I can write? I can write m equal to 1 or m equal to 1 by 2. So you have to observe one thing here. We got total 4 m values. Respect to m, we will get 2m like this. First I'll consider m is minus 1. For respect to m value, we will calculate 2m also. If m is minus 1, what is 2m? 2 into minus 1, that is minus 2. Then what I can say here? m1 comma m2. m1 is slope of first line, m2 is slope of another line. They given slope of one line is double the slope of other. So here one pair of solution will be like this: minus 1 comma minus 2. Now if I consider m value as minus 1 by 2, what about 2m? What is 2m? 2m is 2 into m is minus 1 by 2. Here 2 will get cancelled. You will get minus 1. What is the second pair of solutions? One is double the other. So if m is minus 1 by 2, 2m is minus 1. Now I'll take the third one. You look here, m equal to 1. You take m equal to 1. What is 2m? 2m is 2 into 1, that equal to 2. So what is the third pair of solutions we are getting? Slope of one line is double the other, 1 comma 2. Now fourth value of m. What is fourth value of m? M is 1 by 2. If m is 1 by 2, what is 2m? 2 into 1 by 2. Here 2 will get cancelled. What you will get? 1. Therefore, fourth pair of solutions are m1 comma m2 is 1 by 2 comma 1. Slope of one line is double the slope of other. So for this problem we got a total 4 pairs of solution. I hope you understand this class. If you like this video, please drop a like. If you are not yet subscribed to my channel, please consider to subscribe my channel to get more updates. Thanks for watching this video. Have a great day. Bye bye. This is question number 12 in straight lines chapter. What they are asking in the question. A line passes through x1, y1 and h comma k. That means they given that a straight line passes through 2 points x1 comma y1 and h comma k. And given that slope of that line is m. Slope of that line is m. That is also given. Then show that k minus y1 equal to m into h minus x. Whatever the given information is there, I written in the form of diagram. Now you see here this line passes through 2 points now. I'll find slope of a line passing through these 2 points. You look here, slope of a line passing through the points x1 comma y1 and h comma k. I'll take first point as x1 y1, second point I'll take it as x2 comma y2. What is the formula to calculate slope of a line passing through 2 points? The formula is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, correct? y2 minus y1. Here what is y2? K. K minus y1. y1 is y1 only. y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. What is x2? x2 is h. h minus x1. This is the slope of a line passing through 2 points. What they given in the question? Given. You observe what they given in the question. Given slope of a line is m. Given that slope of a line is m. Here what is this? This is also slope of the same line. So what I can write? This is also slope of a line, and given that slope of a line is m, so I can write that m equal to k minus y1 divided by h minus x1. Okay, what I'll do here, I'll take h minus x1 this side, cross multiply. Then what you will get? You will get that h minus x1 into m equal to k minus y1. So therefore final conclusion. What they are asking, we got the same thing or not? Yes, we got. So here first I written k minus y1. K minus y1 equal to m into h minus x1. You observe what they are asking, we got the same or not? Yes, that's it. It's very easy problem. Now we will see next question. What they are asking. If 3 points h comma 0, a comma b, 0 comma k lie on a line, then show that a by h plus b by k equal to 1. You observe here, I just drawn a rough diagram here to understand the question. They are saying that these 3 points lies on a same line. If 3 points lies on a same line, then we say that the points are collinear. Okay. First, I'll name the given points. First point I taken as A, second point I taken as B, third point I taken as C. You observe here, slope of AB is same as slope of AC, which is same as slope of BC, because all the points lies on a same line. We know that if 3 points are collinear, we know that slope of AB is same as slope of AC is same as slope of BC. So this is the information we know from the given question. We need to prove this. Now what I'll do, you take any 2 from these 3, any 2. I'll calculate slope of AB, slope of AC. Slope of AB formula. If a line passes through 2 points, to calculate the slope, what is the formula? y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Correct? So here you take A as x1 y1, B as x2 y2. So what is slope of AB formula? y2 minus y1, b minus 0 divided by x2 minus x1, that is a minus h. Okay, equal to slope of AC. You take A as x1 y1, C as x2 y2. So what you will get? y2 minus y1, that is k minus 0 divided by x2 minus x1, 0 minus h. So you do little bit of simplification here. B minus 0 is B divided by A minus H equal to K minus 0 is K divided by minus H. Okay. Cross multiply, what you will get? You will get minus BH equal to AK minus HK. Okay. Now what I'll do? I'll take BH to the right hand side, HK to the left hand side. Then you will get like this. AK plus BH equal to HK. This can be understood easily. I written HK one side, remaining all terms other side. Actually what I want A by H plus B by K equal to 1. After equal, I want 1. So what I'll do, this entire equation I'll divide with HK. Okay. So what you will get, AK divided by HK plus BH divided by HK equal to HK divided by HK. Now you see this K will get cancelled, here H will get cancelled, this HK will get cancelled. What is remaining? Remaining one is A by H plus B by K equal to HK by HK is 1. You see here what they are asking, we got the same thing or not? That's it. It's very easy. I hope you understand this class. If you like this video, please drop a like. And how is this class? You comment below. Any doubts are there, comment below. And share this video with your friends. Thanks for watching this video. Have a great day. Bye-bye. This is the last question in exercise number 10.1. You see what is this question? Consider the following population and year graph. It is interesting problem. This graph also is a part of a question. Find the slope of line AB. You observe in this line 2 points AB already given. Find the slope of line AB and using it find what will be the population in the year 2010. What are the things we need to find in this question? Two things are there. You observe this. Find the slope of line AB. What I'll do first, I'll find the slope of line AB first. Okay. I'll take given points. They given A as 1985, 92. That means in the year 1985, 92 crores of population is there. And they given that in the year 1995, 97 crores population is there. This is the information already given. Now I need to find slope of AB. What is slope of a line passing through 2 points formula? Y2 minus Y1 divided by X2 minus X1. Here I'll consider A as X1 Y1, B as X2 Y2. What is slope formula? Y2 minus Y1 divided by X2 minus X1. Y2 minus Y1, that is 97 minus 92 divided by X2 minus X1, that is 1995 minus 1985. If I simplify this, 97 minus 92, that is 5 divided by 1985 minus 1995, that is 10. So 5 divided by 10 is what? 5 divided by 10 is 1 by 2. So what I calculated? I calculated slope of line AB. Okay. What is the continuation in the question? What will be the population in the year 2010? In the year 2010, what is the population they are saying? Let P is the population in the year 2010. You considered P is the population in the year 2010. Then you observe here this question mark, I am taking it as P. Now I'll take this point as C. Then if I take P is the population in the year 2010, what is point C? The point C is 2010, P. Okay. Now you observe the graph. The points ABC lie on a same line. Yes, the points ABC lie on a same line. If the point ABC lie on a same line, what you know? You know that slope of AB equal to slope of AC. And we know that this equal to slope of BC also, but any two things are okay here. I considered slope of AB is same as slope of AC because the points are collinear. What you need to calculate here? You need to calculate the value of P. Slope of AB we already calculated. What is slope of AB? Slope of AB is 1 by 2. You observe in the question by using it. So I written slope of AB is 1 by 2. What is slope of AC? You take A as x1 y1 and take C as x2 y2. Okay, what is slope of AC formula? y2 minus y1, that is P minus 92, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. What is x2? 2010 minus x1 is 1985. Okay, you see here, after simplifying this, we can easily calculate the value of P. Okay, so 1 by 2 equal to P minus 92 divided by 2010 minus 1985 is 25. Okay, cross multiply, what you will get? 25 equal to 2 into P minus 92. Multiply with 2, what you will get? 2P minus 2 into 92, that is 184. Now you take 184 to the left hand side, what you will get? 25 plus 184 equal to 2P. So from this, what is 2P? 2P equal to 25 plus 184 is 209. Okay, what is P? P is equal to 209 divided by 2. So half of 209 is 104.5. So what is the population in the year 2010? The population is 104.5 crores in the year 2010. This is very interesting problem. I hope you understand the solution for this. Dear friends, if you like this video, please drop a like. It gives more energy to do more videos. And share this video with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel to get more updates. Thanks for watching this video. Have a great day. Bye bye.